Hi everybody and welcome back. In this video I'll be talking about more about why being depressed and having anxiety attacks and anxiety and all of that isn't our fault. And I think it's important, and I'm gonna keep saying it's not our fault. There's a lot more reasons why it's not your fault more than there is for why it is your fault. So it's not your fault. And honestly, until taking a summer biology class, I thought it was my fault as well. I was like, it's me, there's something wrong with me. And even though, yes, your brain is inside of you, it works on its own. It's kind of like a person inside your head that's working completely on its own, because you consciously would not want to be depressed. So that's why I'm saying it's not your fault, because you wouldn't want to be depressed. Nobody wants to be depressed. So why would you put yourself through all of that? Nobody wants to have an anxiety attack where they feel like they're losing their breath. No one ever. An interesting detail to know is that, and I learned this in my biology class, is that our brain makes a chemical balance, and our when our brain is starting to feel stressed or starting to feel anxious, any of that, it starts the balance gets thrown off. So if this chemical if the balance is here and your brain is starting to come over here, get this high level of stress, anxiety, all of that, and this usually happens like with college students, high school students, where maybe they're going through a series of like testing and all of that, so their levels are getting higher and higher. When they're done with that, when they're done with like finals and studying and all of that, that the level could come back down here. Your brain is kind of like, what's going on? I was up here, now I'm back here. I don't get it. And the brain starts to freak out. And so what the brain does, in order to make you feel normal again, it puts your stress level up here, back up here, your anxiety level back up here, when it should be here. There's no reason for it to be here, because you're done with feeling stressed and all of that. And that's kind of like why, when everything's fine, when we're done with tests, when we're done with everything, but you're still kind of like, you're not comfortable with the fact that you are stress-free. That's what's going on. Your brain is like freaking out. So what it does, it starts to put the stress up here, puts the anxiety up here, all of that. And little things could trigger it for you to be like, for your the brain to be like, finally it's my time to shine. Like, I'm sorry I got in your face, but it really is. It's your brain, for little things happen and your brain's gonna be like, yes, I'm here. Like, see, I knew the stress level had to be up here, the panic level, but it's not true. It's not true. It's just that your brain has been been at that level for so long that it doesn't know how to come back down. And this is kind of where the word I can't pronounce, the hardest word to pronounce, acetylcholine, kind of comes in back to play. Just because if, let's say, you're a college student and you're taking a lot of classes and they all require you to memorize charts and graphs and theories and who knows what else, and you're not good at that, or that neurotransmitter is missing from reaching what it, or from doing what it was supposed to do, you start to feel hopeless. You start getting really upset at yourself, and that's kind of like where your chemical balance starts to come off. So obviously, like I said before, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. There's also genes that play a risk. I know that trauma is passed down through generations. Your genes carry trauma. So your ancestors from several years ago are making you depressed. So that, again, not your fault. It's something that's totally out of your control. You couldn't tell your ancestors, hey, have a normal, healthy life, because in the future I'm gonna be really screwed. You can't. So, again, the way you eat. If you're eating a really, really bad if you have a really, really bad diet, if all you're eating is probably fried food and ice cream, it probably isn't the best. I know that sometimes when we're feeling hopeless, comfort food is the best. And obviously, yes, have that pint of ice cream, have that. But kind of when you are feeling better, I think having a better diet is very important. Another thing that isn't your fault, our hormones, especially in that age where we are where our body is changing and all that fun stuff. It's not good. Yeah, our hormones are all over the place. Things like unexpected deaths. Again, that kind of goes back to trauma. Just the way we all react to life situations differently. Some of us get affected by one thing a lot more than maybe the next person will. These are all little things that aren't our fault. There's so much to talk about, and I do have a time limit, but just there's so much, and I can't stress this out enough. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. It's not our fault. Next time you're feeling hopeless, sit back, breathe, take everything into consideration, look around, you know, just understand that in the micro level, something's up. You aren't, because no one chooses to be depressed. And I think being more open about anxiety and depression, it's just gonna help everybody. If you guys want to know more about all this information that I just told you guys about, there's another really good website. It's called Teens Health. I love it because it's super easy to read. It's super, like, it's straight up. I love how it's broken down. It's super cool. So it's kind of cool if you guys want to know more about it and, like, kind of just interact with this website. I will put it down in the description down below. I think it's very important for all of us to know more about depression, even if it isn't a project for our class. Just knowing what's going on and knowing that it isn't our fault is very important.